All right, gang, this is the really, really good stuff to the point that coach is actually going to force himself not to swear in this one so he can keep it not age restricted. So, you know that coach has the Lions and Browns matching up in the Super Bowl this year with Tom Brady on the Lions, Shedeur Sanders and Bill Belichick on the Browns, right? There's a lot of reasons for that. You know, of course, two of the only teams to have never made a Super Bowl and only two teams to ever go 0-16. Well, what do you know? Only two teams to ever go 0-16, Browns and Lions. Well, my boy Tom Brady, who we have joining the Lions, did you know he was on the only team to ever go 16-0? You think the guy that went 16-0 could join the team that went 0-16 and help him out? His coach thinks that's for sure what they're cooking up. Let's check out a little bit more. This was their 48th season, right? Coach has Tom Brady coming back at 48 years old to become the oldest NFL player ever and winning Super Bowl 60, right? So 48 for a 48-year-old Tom Brady. Now, what else do we got? Oh, did he do anything notable that season? So he won his first NFL MVP award, right? So 48, pretty good for Brady. Throwing a then record 50 passing touchdowns. Isn't that weird? Like, damn, that's so close to 48. What the hell? I guess we're just wrong, and it could be any number. Or let's take a little bit of a closer look at that record. Okay? They don't mention it here, but thankfully Coach knows because Coach does a lot of research. That 50 passing touchdowns mark broke a previous record of 48 set by arch nemesis Peyton Manning, and as you know, probably the Manning and Brady rivalry skyrocketed the NFL's ratings. Like, it's just a whole different ballgame than what it used to be. NFL's always been the biggest game in town, but now it's the biggest show on earth. Like, period. Right? And that also happened to be the year that they acquired Randy Moss, okay, who just happens to be battling cancer like Deion Sanders, right? So just think that's super interesting. Coach does have another thing to get into. Coach will make sure we're not leaving anything else on the way. Okay. Oh, first of all, look how cute. Oh, my goodness. You guys will have tongue out, too. He's so cute, silly dog. Okay. So, anyway, that's Axel. But check this one out. Okay? So, Coach was going to play the ad, but I'm just thinking there's no way you haven't seen it. Right? So, there's the Tom Brady ad where, like, this dad wakes up and it's like, you couldn't handle Tom Brady knowledge, right? Tom Brady is 10 pounds of football and 5 pounds of Brian, or whatever the fuck it says, right? And then, like, he's like, you got to look. He's watching his kids play in the backyard, and he's like, you got to look off the safety. And then Tom Brady says, if the safety rotates down, just rip the seam. Just rip it. It's not that hard, right? And then it's like, no, and then nobody knows football like Tom Brady, right? So they're really hyping up Tom Brady being like the smartest football mind ever, right? So Coach wants to take a closer look at that. Also, in conjunction with what's the scandal of the day for Tom Brady. People want to say that he's giving the Raiders some sort of edge by commentating in the booth on top of getting all these like all access interviews and stuff with all these key members of other organizations and being able to ask some questions, etc. So basically they're saying that Brady's got an unfair advantage that we've never seen. Okay? And Coach just wants to have you think about this, right? So Tom Brady's 48. He's already unretired once. Okay? He saved a bunch of wear and tear by not playing the last couple of years. And there was a quarterback his exact same age who played back when people really got hit hard. Right? So, plus we know he's on steroids, right? Is it really impossible to think he'd come back at 48? That's just ridiculous. And he's already expressed interest in playing for the Lions. Now, that being said, has there ever been any quarterback who's had the luxury of just sitting on their ass in the booth, looking at the most interesting teams? Just in this dude's always been a film junkie, right? And now he's just able to go through anything you want, break it down in real time. Right, you know, around other great minds, you know, bouncing stuff off, you know, Troy Aikman, whoever. Right, so who's gonna know every team's strengths and weaknesses at the QB position better than Tom Brady? Even if he didn't have that advantage, it would have been him. Right, even Belichick says, you know, Brady's just an absolute genius. and it was an honor to coach him. And he literally absorbs every piece of information you throw at him. Okay? Now, so super genius Tom Brady for the Lions, and a guy like, what is Tom Brady? Tom Brady is a winner in the sense of our perverted fallen culture, right? Of course, they're always going to do stuff a little bit ass backwards to try to corrupt you morally, right? So it's not going to be the guy that does everything the right way like Otto Graham, right? And lives and dies under one coach. That guy's going to get shit on by the guy that comes later and deflates balls and steals signals and literally will do absolutely anything it takes to win, including like probably throwing their mom off a train, right? That's the type of person they want you to think succeeds no matter what, right? At all costs. Like the person that's all about greed, all about personal gain, they're going to be better than the true teammate or whatever, right? And Otto Graham also played safety, by the way, and played a championship game with a broken hand, in case you forgot. He also played in 10 straight championships, so that's something as well. But coach was basically, I know I kind of got off track there for a second. But, okay, here's what it is. Everybody's going to tell you he's too old, right? I'm not telling you he's not going to look like a 48-year-old Tom Brady. He's not, I'm not saying we need 24-year-old Tom Brady in here right now. He has to literally turn the clock back by twice as much, right? This dude just won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, right? Not too long ago, right? So his body wasn't too bad off then. I'm saying it could have even declined since then. It probably has. I think for sure, physically, you will see the worst Tom Brady you've ever seen. He can't throw the ball very far, probably. There's not a lot of heat on it. Right? He's a little slow to get up every time he gets smacked. But Tom Brady wins, dude. And it's the smartest one we've ever had. He's going to figure out how to win ugly. He's not going to go out and have like these 400-yard performances and all these touchdowns. He's going to find a way to win ugly, just like Dan Campbell said. You know, bite the kneecaps off, all that sort of stuff. Remember when they lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl and Tom Brady got the ball back one last time, but Brandon Graham hit him with that strip sack fumble? Coach was like the only person in the world that thought Brandon Graham was going to pull off a strip sack fumble. Everybody else said, y'all fucked up. Tom Brady's about to smoke you, right? So guess what? Tom Brady is going to smoke the Eagles, okay? He's going to come back on Tanner McKee. Fourth quarter. It's probably going to be under 2 minutes. Fourth quarter. You're going to give Brady just too much time, and he's going to figure it out. It's probably be some stupid field goal or something, right? They got the best kicker in the league. Why wouldn't they? Brady always has the best kicker. So they got the best kicker in the league. Probably going to hit a fucking 67-yarder to run the Eagles, right? And then you just got to ugly it up one more time in the Super Bowl, right? The Eagles are going to be the one tough one. There's no one else you're like really scared of. As you know, I mean, the Lions made it to the NFC Championship. The Niners aren't as good as they were, right? So if the Lions are who they should be come playoff time, the only team there it's really scary is the Eagles. Even the Skins seem like they're not doing as good as last year, and we would have beat them at full strength anyways, right? So they just got to get up to beat the Eagles. That's one comeback, and then get another one in the Super Bowl, and then he's got his 48 all-time comebacks with his 60 game-winning drives for Super Bowl 60. Why would that not be it?
Ready? How many feet is it? Yeah. Your strong leg.
And Coach's pretty sure that this part got left on the cutting room floor. Coach made another Brady and Belichick video, but Coach is actually reading 2 different books right now. Actually, I'm reading 3 different books, but 2 on this topic. Okay, we got Brady versus Manning and Brady versus Belichick. The other book I'm reading is the autobiography of Henry Ford, which is a snoozer. But we're about like 10% into all 3. But anyway, Coach was saying like Tom Brady now, it's like, you know, he's actually single. He can go out and party with the team after a good time. You know, like he's going to be going crazy, having a blast. And, you know, with all the Superman connections and stuff with Cleveland, you know, obviously the home of Superman creators, all that sort of stuff, and the new Superman movie popping in, and him driving a 57 Imperial, just like when the Lions beat the Browns last time, right? Check out this clip that Coach found on Tom Brady's. And Coach didn't figure or finish the train of logic either. So if Brady, Mr. 16-0, only team ever go 16-0, joins the 0-16 Lions, right? And the only other team to ever go 0-16 is the Browns, who they're going to beat, coached by Bill Belichick, which Coach didn't mention. Oh, yeah, would have also been on the 16-0 team. So you got two 16-0s on the 0-16s.